Nordics and the tall whites helping us, and they are very, very advanced. Why can't we be told the whole truth? Hostile entities have been part of life on Earth. And life in the universe, I assume, from the very beginning of our consciousness and in other consciousnesses in the universe. We're not in a universe that is one thing. We're not in a universe that is all white, all light, all love, all peace. I wish it were, but it's not. And therefore, telling the truth about what is considered hostile and threatening to the world population, along with telling the world now that we have allies, that we have very advanced allies. We're not sitting here unprotected by people like the advanced tall whites and Nordics, as they have been described to me by several sources. Some who have worked with them in aerospace, shoulder to shoulder, so to speak. So if that's happening in one layer of the United States and the world, why can't all the layers be discussed to all the layers of our Earth? That is what I think a lot of us thought everything was moving toward. And then when the Defense Authorization Bill was finally passed in December, it was on December 23rd, when nobody was paying any attention. It was done quietly, and most of it was done.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Sand Prairie Road.
We thought we were actually going to evolve into a much more honest and straightforward relationship between our government, between the Pentagon, between everybody who knows the truth and the world. They only change, as I understand.
Turn left onto Sand Prairie Road.
Lawyers to make sure that what I'm reporting is what the essence is, and it is what I have reported before.
Continue on Sand Prairie Road for 2 miles.
If you are a sergeant, like the man in my segment tonight, and you have a huge encounter like they had at Edwards Air Force Base, instead of his superior commander with threatening language saying, "You will never talk about this. If you do, you will not see your family and you will disappear forever." And I've heard that before. This is not the only time I've heard somebody repeat those words directed at them. The only difference, as I understand it, in the current new NDAA authorization language is that sergeant should be able to talk to the commander about everything without the commander threatening the sergeant, threatening his family, or anything like that. If anyone listening tonight has any other refinement to interpreting what has, I guess you would say, survived in the Congressional Defense Authorization, I'm open to receiving information.
Smells nice. Gonna cut the Indian Mountain visit short. Came all the way down here to arrive right when it started pouring.
say tonight what commanding his commander at Edwards Air Force Base said to him.
PayPal money from the Airbnb. Let's go see what this looks like. Hi, made it to Cahokia. Made it to Cahokia. Yeah, yeah. I thought Etowah was big. This site is maybe 2 miles across. Yeah, it said it's about 200 mounds. So, yeah, yeah, not really clear what you could estimate about the population because I don't think they really know if people all stayed in one place or some people stayed and some people are sort of itinerant or what. But, um, I think they just liked building pyramids. They're the probably the same folks as the Aztecs and Olmecs and all that, at least at some level. So yeah, but yeah, it started pouring down rain right when I rolled up. Oh, I got an umbrella. Huh, really? Well, I think I'll only be there a few weeks and spend that getting ready to go. Particularly since I'll have to have a T full. That means 120 hours of whatever online stuff I've got to do. So that's 3 weeks full time of doing that. But it looks like I don't have to have that completed by the time I get there. So once I get there, I can continue to work on it. And then one thing about all the economic stuff that's going on here is guess how much the flight is to Ho Chi Minh from Atlanta? It's $500. Yep. Well, I sent a message to Joe back and forth about what PPP is, purchasing power parity, because she'd never heard of it. So I looked it up this year. There's only 5 countries in the world that have gained relative to the U.S. for a cost. Yeah, because of what's happened here. So, yeah, I looked up initial hotels in Ho Chi Minh. So for $120, you get absolute marble concierge luxury, all that spa, and something that would cost $1,000 here. So obviously, I don't need that, but it's rather shocking to think I could live in to me, what's still a luxury hotel for $60 a night when I first get there. Because I don't want to bother with trying to go anywhere other than the closest hotel to the airport. Oh, and Eva flies through Taoyuan on the way, so I may be able to stop there for a couple of days and see people. Yeah, it could be done, but it would be mid jet lag, so I'd have to consider, what's the best thing to do with that. But yeah, I could at least see Ned and Steven and Pim Pim. and all those girls from the classes. Yeah, it would be nice if I could figure out a way to be in Taiwan for a week or something, but given that I'm moving, medium term at least, I don't want to carry all that stuff around. But I don't really need to take much. Just work clothes, really. Pretty much. I don't know what the real work situation will be like, but wearing a suit even to teach elementary school worked well for me before. And the reputation is that Saigon is a lot more laid back than Hanoi. Hanoi, the suit would go a long way, and Ho Chi Minh people view it as stuffy and too formal, and they don't like it. So I'll certainly bring a tie, but walking up these stairs here. Yeah, this site is absolutely huge. Stopped at the river to dump footage and got a barbecue sandwich, which was, yeah, it was mediocre. And I've been sick for 3 or 4 days now. So no end in sight with that. Well, the itinerary I sent you is more or less what I'm planning to stick to. Wow, from the top of this mound, I bet I can see hundreds of miles. Yeah, there's St. Louis with the arch. It's not even, it might be 20 miles away or something. But yeah, this is really amazing. Um, sorry, what? Oh, so at 300 to 400 miles a day, seems like there was like 1,600 miles to go or something like that. So yeah, 4 or 5 days maybe. Tonight, this storm system is supposed to blow through. So I think I'll take the cheapest Airbnb I can get in Indiana, which is described as a hut, but at least it's not a tent. I'll have a solid structure over me for the storm. And then from there, I just decide when to turn south. As from Indiana, I could comfortably do it in 2 days. But I'd like to go another day east into West Virginia and go down. Oh, yeah. Well, everything in there does. Yeah. They're probably too heavy. I was reading that there's a wet season and a dry season, but the temperature doesn't really change. It's 85 to 95 year round. So, yeah, I'll be there in the dry season to start with, which is probably the easy way to do it. It says the building that's on top of this thing where I'm standing was another 50 feet tall. But I bet this is a football field up here on top of the mound. Yeah, I don't really remember. What's kind of amazing about this one is it's not even a park. It's not even, it doesn't have a boundary or a wall or a gate or anything. You just go up to it. Yep. And I guess that's the river there. It's big water. I can't tell. But yeah, the whole city itself, it said it's probably about 20,000 people permanently, but it could have been, is the obvious regional capital. Who knows how many subjects it was? I'd like to try to find out, but I think it was abandoned 700 years ago, it said. Yeah, uh, that Indian school was closed when I went to it, which is just as well. But yeah, it said that they had 4,000 students and it didn't close until 1934. So if they had thousands of deaths, that means the survival rate over all that time